His given name was Mustafa Az-Zamouri, born around 1500 in the coastal town of Azamur, Morocco. In 1513, the Portuguese seized Azamur. Like many North Africans caught in that tide, Mustafa was taken and sold across the water. In Iberia, he became property of Andrés Dorantes de Carranza. On Spanish rolls, he appears as Estebanico, the little Stephen. But his voice, his memory, his prayers, those were still Moroccan. In 1527, the Pamfilo de Narvaez expedition sails for Florida with roughly 600 men and 40+ horses. Estebanico is among them as Dorantes' servant and interpreter. They make landfall near Tampa Bay in April 1528. Hunger, disease, and conflict shred the column. By late summer, there is sawing timber and twisting ropes, building 5 crude rafts on the Gulf to chase a Spanish settlement they never find. In November of 1528, a storm scatters the rafts. One breaks on the sands of a long barrier island. The Karankawa call it Malhado, Island of Misfortune. Today, we call it Galveston. Dozens crawl ashore. Winter kills most, from hundreds down to 4. For 8 years, these 4 drift and survive among native nations, Karankawa, Gurhektian bands, then inland towards Coahuila and Chihuahua. Estebanico learns languages fast. He barters, he scouts, he becomes a healer, doing what Cabeza de Vaca letter wrote about. Breath and touch, prayer and herbs. People line up to see him. The 4 men turn from beggars to guides, moving in a long, slow arc to the sunset. In the spring of 1536, they reached Culiacan in Sinaloa. From there, Mexico City. They've crossed a continent on foot. The viceroy hears their story and he leans forward. Viceroy Antonio de Mendoza once rode into the northern lands. Rumors of Cibola, the 7 cities. He orders Fray Marcos de Niza to lead a reconnaissance and sends Estebanico ahead as an advanced scout. But why him? Because he had a gift. He could walk into a village, learn how to be there, and leave with allies. In March of 1539, Estebanico heads north with native guides. He carries a staff and a gourd decorated with feathers and bells, a sign messengers used to show authority. He asks villages for hospitality, turquoise, interpreters. The trail lifts into mesas and clear airs. Now, sometime in the spring of 1539, Estebanico reaches the outskirts of Hawico, one of the Zuni towns of Cibola. What happens next, though, comes to us through Fray Marcos and later chroniclers. The story is kind of tangled. Some say Estebanico's request for turquoise and women, customary tribute for messengers in some region, alarmed the Zuni. Some say a prior raid made them wary. What agrees across versions is the end. Estebanico was killed at Hawico in the year 1539. A Moroccan who walked the Gulf Coast, healed strangers, taught people about Islam, learned their words and their culture, and showed the Spanish how to cross the country. He dies at a pueblo he came to meet. His death, however, turns into a spark. A year later, Coronado rides north with an army looking for golden cities that never existed. But Estebanico was never chasing gold. He was chasing Allah. He was chasing a way. He mapped the Southwest with his feet from Florida to Galveston, across Texas, Coahuila, Chihuahua, Sonora, then up into New Mexico. First recorded person of African and Muslim origin to do that. The first great pathfinder of the region, and the one to call Cowboy country. This is Estebanico, a Muslim who tamed the Wild West long before you ever thought we were there.